Greetings, family. I hope everyone's doing well today. Let's talk about something that keeps coming up in our healing spaces, especially if you went through toxic relationships or spiritual dynamics that just left you confused. I'm talking about distinguishing between if you've been with someone who's been avoidant or narcissistic, because one is wounded and the other is just being manipulative. And if you can't distinguish between the two, it'll keep you trapped in cycles where your light just keeps getting drained. So let's clear the air today. Let's talk about the root causes of these behaviors. Avoidants typically run because the connection becomes overwhelming. They fear being seen, fear being vulnerable, fear being dependent. This is typically a trauma response to early emotional neglect or inconsistent care. Narcissists, on the other hand, they pull you in. They love bomb you, and once they get what they need from you, they'll drop you. Or if you stop feeding their ego, they'll leave as well. It isn't about love, it's about control. The biggest difference between these two, avoidants leave and run because the love feels unsafe. Narcissists, on the other hand, they manipulate because they crave power and control. With avoidant people, you're probably feeling confused because for the most part, these people still show signs of caring. It's just poorly expressed. With narcissists, they'll have you feeling crazy. They'll have you questioning your worth, your memory, and your truth. And it's because they do a lot of gaslighting. Avoidants will typically shut down when they're triggered. Narcissists, they'll shift the blame when they're exposed. And I think it's important for everyone to realize this truth. Avoidance will typically ghost people out of fear. Narcissists will go missing out of a form of punishment. It doesn't feel good when either one of these people are doing it, but I think it's important that all of you are fully aware of this. And let's keep it real. We've all had avoidant tendencies at some point in our lives, especially if you've grown up in the masculine form. You were probably taught to suppress your emotions and pretend that everything's fine, even when you are falling apart on the inside. But here's the truth. Avoidance, with time and safety, they can make the shift. Even though they might not know how to show up, when they do the work, they actually want to be there. Narcissists, on the other hand, they don't want any parts of growth. They just want admiration without accountability. So if they never self-reflect, never take ownership, and every conversation ends up shifting the blame to the other person, this isn't being avoidant. This is narcissistic. To all my ladies watching this video right now, I need you all to hear me on this. Well, to my guys too. It's just that being avoidant is typically a masculine wound. Just because you're dealing with someone who's emotionally unavailable, this doesn't mean that they're automatically a narcissist. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that you accept breadcrumbs from people just because you know that they had a troubled upbringing. You're not here to be a rehab center for emotionally unavailable people. Stop confusing potential with partnership and let a man show you with consistency and not chemistry. And always remember, if you're the one that's always giving, fixing, explaining, and waiting, this isn't love, it's emotional labor. My brothers, if you're watching this channel, there's a pretty good chance that you weren't being a narcissist. You were scared, you didn't have the tools, you didn't trust love. How do I know? Because I was one of these men myself, so I speak from experience. A lot of us ran from the very thing that could have helped us heal. But this isn't an excuse to keep hurting people. Avoidance is understandable, it just isn't sustainable. So if you're working to call in your queen, we all have to learn how to be emotionally available men. This doesn't mean being perfect, it means being present. So if you were wrongly labeled a narcissist and you were just in that avoidant energy, just take the lesson and grow. Don't hold on to resentment. Prove through your healing that you are capable of a deeper love. At the end of the day, all of this comes down to intention and accountability. Avoidant people, for the most part, are just trying to protect themselves. Narcissists, on the other hand, they're trying to elevate themselves at your expense. Stop gaslighting yourself to trying to understand someone who doesn't even want to understand you. Trust the pattern, honor your peace, stop sacrificing your wholeness for someone else's wounds. If this video resonated with you, share your comments down below because this is a conversation that needs to be had in more spaces. And if you are doing the work to better yourself, whether it's the divine feminine or the divine masculine, I see you, I honor you, own your energy, walk your path. Until next time, love and light, my friends.